Hello everyone and welcome to my Ascension Messages. My name is Bobby and I will be your guide for today. Today I am at a different house sit, so I'm still trying to organize everything. But yeah, I'm here to do some tarot and I want to really focus more on our ascension process and what messages I can pull through from the Pleiadians and the Cyanians to help us in these energies at the moment. And then I will open the chat bar up to some free chat bar readings. I don't know if you see the dog in the background. This is Chloe. She's just beside me at the moment. You might see her moving around the background. She's a Rottweiler puppy that I'm house sitting for at the moment. Beautiful. She can't jump up, so can't really show you until she goes into the background. Hey Jeannie, hey Annie, hey everyone, good to see you. So yeah, let's get into these next messages. I just realized I've not unpacked my crystals, but that's okay, we can do without them. I have got my tarots here though. Okay, so the thing that I've been taken to at the moment is money. So they want us to start to be aware of the fact that those outside of this planet, other beings that are outside of this planet, they don't use money. None of them use money. Money is been a propaganda, kind of a device for those that were unbalanced, that were only looking outside of themselves for wealth and abundance. So everything, because humanity was only looking outside of themselves for everything had to be created outside of themselves. But anything created only outside and hasn't found that core essence from within oneself, or the connection to source energy, means that it can be controlled. And that's the problem. So here lies the issues with those that are the controllers and those that are the majority of people who have been controlled by the money, and those that hold all of the wealth, and they buy up all the businesses, they set out all the rules, they hike up the prices and all that sort of stuff. The only way that this is going to probably change, and I would foresee in the possible future, we're going to have more clarity around ourselves to be able to connect to these higher beings. And when we connect to the higher beings, we're actually going to realize, humanity's going to start to realize, oh, that's not how it's done out there in the kind of real world that we don't even think exists, doesn't even think exists. And more of these stories will come through with these contacts of people that are working with beings that have a really beautiful, stable, heart-based realities. And it's going to open up this whole game with humanity walking away from the money side of things. We don't need to have money, we just need to be able to share and care. We just need to be able to trust ourselves as well, who we share and care with. So we have to do this inner work so that we can trust ourselves and share and care. Now, I am going to pull the cards too and see what other messages come through, but that is one of the biggest profound messages that's coming through for me at the moment. I did just put up a Facebook post about it as well. So if you want to go and have a look at that, it's under Bobby Richardson. That's my name. Hey. Nice new place. Yeah, it's pretty big. I feel like a little pimple in it. Got a king-size bed. Can't complain. And a very, very big dog. And a very big dog. Hey, you're not used to this, are you? Somebody speaking on live. He's licking my arm. She is just a big kid. I'll see if I can get her to jump. Oh, sorry, jump up. You want to jump up for a bit and say hello? This is Chloe. This is Chloe. This is who I'm looking after. A bit different to my little dogs. Okay, down. She's just a puppy, so she's still learning. Okay. Had to introduce her. Sorry about the bumping of the camera. Okay, here we go. Let's get into some tarot messages as well and see what else comes through with my... Hey! The dog back at the back fence is barking. Oi, Chloe, no. She's never barked. This is the first time I've heard her bark. I'll just see if they just stop on their own. Chloe, no. It's probably because I'm making the noise and then they're like, and we've got all the doors open so that the dog can go outside. That's what the owner wanted. Okay, here we go. Okay, so yeah, we have, look at this. I really see this as a change of everything. Like this is the Hierophant. I know it's not what this means, but the Hierophant means signing contracts, new contracts. And everything is kind of outside of himself as in a religious kind of a way. Creating spirituality that is supposed to come from within us, outside of ourselves, and writing out contracts and all that sort of stuff. We don't need contracts in this next new world. I'm just going to see what else comes out with that, Hierophant. I always see this as a new thing, something new. It's with the Queen of Swords. Look, the feminine power telling the truth now, because it's the feminine power that's going to awaken all of this. This is what has been hindered in humanity, and so it's going to cut. Now we're starting to come out with the truth. We don't need to do it this way, guys. We can actually create a reality without all of the hoo-ha, the contracts and all of that sort of stuff, the laws, the rules and all. We actually can trust ourselves because we're doing this inner work, and we realize that whatever we do within us is going to manifest outside of us. We're literally cracking through the contracts by just removing ourselves little by little. Do this as you can, like always progress towards a lifestyle. Well, I wouldn't say always, I don't like saying that, but if you choose to evolve, progress towards a lifestyle that is one little step at a time away from the matrix, one little step at a time away from the system. What can I do in my life that just, takes me away from this, whether it's plant your own garden or anything like that, or speaking up with the truth. And then we have the devil. Look at that. This is who we're so called up against. But the devil to me is an unlived person. It's a person that is controlled, because devil spelt backwards is lived, and I feel like a backwards lived is unlived. So that's how I see it anyway. And so I feel like instead of being controlled, and we feel like we're not really getting anywhere with our reality. So, this is why people do things like commit suicides and stuff like that. I should probably bring that up on YouTube. But anyway, this is why that sort of thing happens, because the soul wants to leave. And when the soul decides to leave because it's been too controlled and it can't find a way out because it's looking outside of itself to shift everything instead of within itself. And the soul is too scared to look at all of the mayhem and contracts within its own mind, like the programming within our own mind. And we have to see now everything that is happening outside of us is actually a mere reflection of everything that is already happening within us. All of these contracts that we role play within our own mind are something, I have to do it this way, otherwise I don't look like I fit into society. And what is society trying to show us? Society is trying to show us to be the best, to be the first, to win the race, to climb the biggest ladder, to own the most, and all of that sort of stuff. And it's not conducive to us feeling at peace within our minds, because we're always striving for something to be better. And only one, if if one person was going to be only the best out of the whole of humanity, what is that game? That is not a game to be playing. Why are you even playing the game that you want to be the best? Because you'll never, ever, ever be the best. Even those that are the billionaires have still got their mucked up mind. That's why they are trying to control many, many people, because they think that that's going to give them the peace of mind that they need, because they're in control of everything. But it will never, ever, ever satisfy them, because they haven't done this inner work and they haven't found control within their own minds. Yeah, wow, lots of messages coming out with that devil card. My beautiful team. Hey, Wade. Hey, Paula. Hey, Zen, Debbie. Okay, see what else comes through with these messages at the moment. I think, yeah, there's like a tying up, but also a face-off. What steps are we going to actually physically make towards all of this, towards the reality that we really want to have now? What steps are we actually physically going to make? It's no use looking for a 1111 sign and a 33 sign. It's no use just finding signs. That you can find signs till the day you die and say, wow, I saw 1,000 signs. But you never actually put anything into action. And I really feel like now is the time to start thinking, okay, I really got to put some of this into action and let it flow towards the reality that we really want, whether that's doing inner work on yourself so that you can trust others, so that you can work with others, so that you can be a sharing, caring person. Is there still inner work that you have to do on yourself? Because remember, it's never about trusting somebody else. It's always about trusting you, choosing that person to be in your reality or not. You make the choices of whether you allow someone in and then they lie to you or they deceive you. You made the choice to begin with. I took total responsibility for all my bad relationships. It's the only way that I could face the fact of what I was doing to myself, so that I can change what I was doing to myself and then shift myself so that I would never allow those sort of people in again. And now they stick out like a sore thumb, like somebody comes towards me that is not healed within themselves and they're only going to make my life more of a problem. I'm just like, I'll give them maybe a little bit of help that they need, but I need them over there. I don't want them in my reality anymore, as in a relationship and all of that sort of thing. Sometimes the best thing you can do with people like that is to walk away and let them look at themselves. And hopefully they do look at themselves. I mean, they might turn around and try to find somebody else. That will be a scapegoat for them, and then they don't have to look at themselves, or they might turn inwards and look at themselves. We need to be able to do that, because that is then putting ourselves first as well in this whole big picture and this big scheme, because all reality is coming from you, remember. So we have this sun and it's in reverse. So, I'm wondering if more solar flares are going to start up. Oh my gosh, we're really going through the thick of it. There's going to be a lot of solar flares happening. It's shifting reality to there's been a lot of moments and times where civilizations have, excuse me, have birthed and then gone for quite a long time. And then it was like the end of that era, or an evolution was happening with humanity's soul, and so it's kind of like a wipeout, and then it all starts back up again. I do feel this time though we're seeing if we can do the wipeout was always outside of humanity, so because but I'm feeling like we're doing this wipeout within us. It's really interesting. It's like we're using these solar flares to really, really be honest and truthful with ourselves. This new energy that's coming towards us to really look at who we are and what we need to shift within ourselves. You will know that better than anyone else. And sometimes it's like just a fleeting moment. Are you living in the moment as much as you think you can? Do you think you can get rid of those past. See, you can't change a reality if you're constantly thinking of the past and what you don't want to have happen. That's another thing as well. If you want to move forward, eventually you'll have to just go, let everything go of the past, and then really imagine, use your imagination as that you have no idea how powerful your imagination is yet. And that's what my team's saying. And this is literally how they move from planet to planet. They are in these ships, and then they all conducively come together and imagine the space that they are going to, the home planet or the planet that they're going to or whatever, or somebody else is guiding them to a new place. Then they all telepathically link, and they will all get the download of that same guide that knows where to go. And then they have this kind of interaction within themselves where it's like their ships teleport literally into the space of where they need to be in the orbit of the space of the planet. That is one way that ships do move, and that's how powerful our imagination is. But we need to know where we're actually going, so we have to start to imagine what it would be like if we were all, the fences were down and we didn't worry about other people because we were all knitted together through love, really. What would that actually look like, having sparse, beautiful landscapes with no fences where you could roam free and there was no boundaries and all of that on Earth, and you work with Earth. And, I'm just giving you some sort of indication of how beautiful it can be. People, their heart's desires would be to purify the water and all that sort of, and like their hearts are always into a conducive atmosphere for the benefit of the whole of humanity. Not this game of I want to be better than everyone else. I'm the one that has the money that can afford the less toxic food. What is that? What is that? Anyways, let's get back into the tarot. I keep channeling messages through with them. See what else comes through. Okay, so we have one more card that's popped out. The King of Wands. It's really cool. These are so major. Oh, look how major all of these. We've got one major the Hierophant, the Queen of Swords, the Devil, the Sun, and the King of Wands. And we have a masculine and a feminine here. An action-orientated masculine and a truth-telling, seeking clarity of the mind, feminine. How beautiful is this? There's a lot of major arcana here. This is a major, major shift that's happening, going towards, the fire horse that's opening up for the horoscopes and the new year, and 226, which is a 1 year. It's a major, major, major shift that's happening at the moment. Be gentle on yourself as well, but, one step at a time. It's okay if you just do a little thing towards how you want your life to be like. One step at a time. It could be that you want to start painting or drawing pictures or doing poetry or something. That's all. What would our new world look like? That sort of thing. Connection, clarity of one's mind, so you connect to more benevolent beings and channeling and, opening up your psychic gifts or something like that. All of that is going to help, because it's an inside job. All of this that I'm talking about is going within and feeling, using your imagination again, your intuition again, seeing if you can manifest small things in your life. All of that is going to help. It's just, and also practically, we've got creating gardens in our outside, sharing with our neighbours, opening, our door to a few more people that we feel we can trust, that sort of thing. See what the animal cards want to say. We don't want to say that much, it's too much. No, the birds are going off. Okay, see what the animals have to say. Yeah, we have the lynx. The Keeper of Secrets is the lynx card. And it says, take time out from the world and be the observer. That is such a powerful message. Nothing can deceive you when you trust your knowing. You see others' secrets and keep them sacred. In silence and solitude, you will find your strength. And that is such a cool message from the animals, because being the observer, you're stepping out. Everything's going off out there. You're stepping out of yourself for a moment instead of that small mind that's, oh my God, I've got to do this and I've got to do that today. It's like step back. Now, when you step out of yourself, you can actually also feel a lot more. You can see a lot more and you can feel a lot more. I always can get in touch with my feelings a lot more when I step out of myself. And I'm looking at myself and going, oh, wow, that thought is a worrying thought. It's not actually doing me any good. Rightio, let's say goodbye to that thought. And yeah, that's how I observe myself. How conducive is it that I'm living in the moment that I'm at? And if something is worrying me, which honestly, the last week, it's been really weird the last week. I haven't had much in my head of worry. And I've done this major shift from another house and everything, and I've been very in the moment. It's been really, really pleasant, to tell you the truth. And I was a little concerned whether I could handle a Rottweiler puppy, but not to the point where it was infiltrating my mind, and I just kept it still. And the weird thing was, you know how you get that buzzing in your ear every now and then, like it changed, and I started to get this other pitch happening in my ear, and it was a lot more gentler, and I don't know, the feeling of it was a lot more high vibe buzzing. That's the only thing that I could say. The other card that came out was the Loon, which is intuitive. And it says, listen to the song in your soul. Trust your intuition as you have a way of knowing. Emerge from the busy life and seek more solitude. I love it how the cards recognize, and it says, recognize that you are unique and that you are loved. And I think when we become the observer of our reality, we start to realize just how much we are loved from a bigger point of view. If you're not loving yourself from the observer point of view, then how can you allow love in? That's another message that they're giving me too. Never thought of that before, but yeah, I love it how they give me these profound messages. I'm reaching for the magic earth, the earth magic oracle cards. There definitely is a big shift. It's really beautiful. Going to be very interesting. This year is going to be so interesting to see how many different businesses that are more into a heart-based business and all of that coming through. Also going to be really interesting how Earth interacts with humanity, with the weather, with these new energies coming from the sun. And when high frequency energies come from the sun, it can crack the earth. It can make a dramatic change and shift things. It's kind of like taking respite and then having aha moments within yourself, and then all of a sudden you just wash away some of those bad memories. It's no longer happening over and over in your head anymore. And yes, that's how they're showing it to me, is like Earth will shift as well, so that something not so good that's trying to take control is now going to be smashed. I don't know how that's going to happen, but we'll just go with that message. Wind activation we're definitely being activated at the moment. And we also have shape-shifting clouds. This card here is reminding me of benevolent beings that like move into clouds, and like their ships are like pretending to be clouds and that sort of thing, hovering above us. Just be aware of this. Sparks of light in the cloud. There might be sparks of light in the cloud. That's a definite, it's not just a glimmer of the sun on a ship, like we would think logically. It's actually small portals opening up, and we are like igniting these new portals within the neuron parts of our brain. And then outside of us, we start to see them ignite outside of us as well. So that's really beautiful. And then on the bottom of the pack was fairies, earth magic. So there's going to be some of us that's going to connect with those elementals again. They have so much wisdom about the earth and so much wisdom about the inner earth. There's a lot more to learn about things that have been hidden from us because it was keeping it safe, because humanity was so out of balance. And when we bring our balance back into our mind, then we can start to converse with them again. We start to talk with them again and telepathically realize that there is more beings out there. It's not just in a physical way. They come through as light and all sorts. One of the first interactions I've had with the elementals was going into a walk. I went onto a platform and there was a forest before me, and I just started to see these sparks of light, really definite sparks of light, and I'm like, oh my God, are they fairies or what? What is that? Like just in the air, sparks of light just flashing. And then it was the following week that I ended up having this profound message and vision where they said to me, what you saw on Saturday was true. But at the Saturday that I was thinking of, I also got a tarot reading done. And I only get tarot readings done like maybe once a year. And it was because I was at a beautiful place called Crystal Castle that's in New South Wales. It has magnificent crystals. And so I thought, this is a beautiful place to have a tarot reading. And so I thought, are you talking about the tarot reading? Well, these little elementals or this energy put this pain in my head. I can still remember, like I hold my fingers here and here because where they meet in the middle of my head, behind my back of my eye, my right eye, was this pain. And I'm like, oh, it wasn't like really painful. It was just like annoying. And I'm like, what the heck is that? And then I'm like, okay, maybe it's not the tarot reading. Was it the elementals, the fairies that I saw in the forest? And the pain just disappeared. And then I saw a vision of a 1 foot tall flying elemental outside my door. My tree turned red, and we had the next day we had massive mushrooms growing in a huge ring, 2 of them, 2 huge, massive, and I mean massive mushrooms grow overnight in my backyard. And I took photos of it and everything. And then I painted a tree, a fairy tree that had turned red. So that's a big, big message anyway from there. But there's a whole heap more that we can learn from them as well. They have a lot of information that we can learn from. Yeah, just tie this up. I feel like I need to tie this reading up, and I'll do one to fortune teller, and then we will open up the chat bar for some pre-readings as well. I'm so happy that this internet connection seems stable. Thank God for that. Okay. I have that buzzing in my ear. Really, really, really high. Teacher. We're going to have a lot more guides coming through here to teach us, and they're going to be very authentic, like very authentically honest with themselves. You need to find a teacher that's very honest with themselves, because then they can be very honest with you. And guides, the true essence of a teacher or a guide is someone who knows when somebody else knows more than they do on a certain subject, and they know how to pull back and then inspire that person to bring out their messages or what they know, so that we are all actual teachers and guides in the end. That's the true essence of a teacher, not someone who is in control of everything, thinks they know everything. I don't believe everything. I don't believe one person can know everything unless you are literally source energy itself. You know, there's always something to learn. And Archangel Raziel, wisdom, inspiration, and Akashic records. So that this could be like a portal that's opening up, and they're showing me especially these solar flares that are coming at the moment. Be aware that you might open up your third eye to more. If you haven't found balance within yourself before you do that, you can literally go schizo. So be aware of that. It's more of a getting a balance before you actually open up to understanding or opening up these portals to other beings, other lifetimes, all that sort of thing. It's like it can go hand in hand, where you go, I shift into more balance, and then I open a little bit more. I shift a bit more, and then I open a bit more. That sort of thing. If you just went all of a sudden from nothing, zero, and then boom, did a massive meditation and opened everything up, and you were unbalanced, that's where the schizophrenia comes in. So it has to be either little steps each way, or you do a big leap of I'm finding balance within myself and learning how to control my logical mind, so that it is allowing my intuitive mind to come in, and it sort of flows well together. So many noises around here. Okay. So I think I'll do one fortune teller, and then we will, because I've started packing up, so obviously I'm getting ready for the chat bar readings. But I'll do a fortune teller, and then we'll open up the chats for anyone who wants a reading. Okay. Fortune teller. Fortune teller. Is there a message for us, please? Okay, so we have a wish upon a star. A wish will soon come true. Yay! A wish upon a star will soon come true. Yeah, they're showing me something that I want to bring up in my next. I want to just do this through a channel one night instead of tarot. I've been taken to these specific movies that are working with benevolent beings and all sorts. Definitely a wish is coming true. So if you're not sure what you want to wish for, say you want to wish for a lot, and you're like, I don't know which wish to choose, just leave it open. The universe already knows. Say to yourself, the universe already knows what's the best next best wish to come for me, so that it's conducive for my evolution and my soul, and for me to feel very comfortable living here on earth. You could say something like that. Or if you don't know at all, just say that, And if you do know, then put it out there. Put that wish out there. And then we have a magical encounter will change your life forever. This is really interesting, because this one was bringing up these movies that I was going to talk about, that I was led to this lady called Elizabeth, who was interacting with the Alpha Centauri beings, and she was literally taken to their planet and everything. And now we've got a magical encounter will come into your life forever. I'm wondering, I feel like we are going to have more people contacting. I did say that at the beginning of the reading. There's going to be this year is going to open up a bit of a contact with certain beings that are ready to. The biggest thing with that, I will have a really big chat about that, because there's all these messages that came through about what that contact should look like and what we need to work on to create that contact, whether it be with the elementals, whether you're more into the earth-based contact and opening it up that way, or whether it is the star beings. That is what's going to shift humanity even more, because it's like new neuron paths in your brain. They're the same. The new neuron paths that have been asleep in your brain for a while, like literally are waking up, because we've got clarity now and we're not using all of our mind power to fight against each other, fight against our intuition and our imagination, and fight for our logic to be always right and all that sort of stuff. We're integrating them enough for it to be a release. And when there's a release, it opens up these new paths that have been held in a stasis for a while. And maybe you used to use it when you were just little, or you haven't even used it at all yet, but they're there because they will never go away, because they're part of who we are. Our true history and all that's coming forth as well. Göbekli Tepe is another thing that's come into my reality again, and I know that they have tried to shut that down because there's too much wisdom in that's going to change the whole understanding of the so-called caveman, realization that there's a lot of civilizations that have fallen, and the magic that Göbekli Tepe holds is going to have to come forth sooner or later. So maybe that's where the earth comes in with the weather patterns and starts to, awaken or shift the sand from some of these places that are holding magic wisdom. See, because everything happens inside, happens outside. So then maybe the sand will start to fall away from and show specific stones and things like that hold power and magic and understanding and new awarenesses. And then we have AI that can actually interact with it and interpret it from a clear space, because you can't filter it through the propaganda of who's trying to keep things a lie and deception. We have enough on this planet now, and enough wisdom on this planet for everybody to live, to thrive on this planet. It's just that many are holding too much as out of greed. Okay, I'll leave that there. That's my message for today. Let's open the chat bar and get some free readings coming through. I get my favourite tarots. Well, both of them are favourites. Okay, so love the show. Thanks, Wade. Annie, I'm just going to move this over so I can read the chat bar. I have been seeing fireflies. Oh, that is so cool. That is, yeah, they are so close to the fairy realm, the fireflies. Definitely. Wow, I love seeing fireflies. Haven't seen those cards before. Is that the Earth cards, Jenny? Yeah. They've been sitting there waiting. I've had them for a while. Okay, here we go. Okay. I don't know who I'm pulling for. Let's do this, open this out. Yes, please, Jeannie. Jeannie. I'll put that card back in because I wasn't focusing in on you. And if you want a reading with me, you can book me online and through a Zoom. Jeannie. We have two cards that flipped out, and they literally stayed in the deck a bit here for you. Look at that. Ace of Wands and Two of Wands have come out together. Like, that is so cool, because you're progressing in an action-orientated way. You're progressing 1 and 2. So a new beginning is turning into like looking for, like, it's like, I know I'm going to start something new, or I'm going to put action towards something, and then you're standing there going, now it's almost like a decision, which one am I really going to focus in on? maybe a couple of options have come up for you and you need to focus in on something. You're like imagining out into the future and you're seeing what you could have in your life, what you want to manifest. That sort of thing is coming from this card as well. Maybe you're in the imagination mode, or I'm going to put this to action, whatever this is, this next step that I'm going to imagine into my reality, because I now know that I'm focused in on the right path, the path of clarity that brings me peace of mind and all that sort of stuff. So, but this is all action-orientated cards, being that they're wands. So there will end up being action moving towards that in the future. So maybe, and I feel like it's a nice progression. So just go with the flow. You're doing everything correctly. It's all moving in the right way. Just go with it. It's okay to hold back a bit and just figure out where you actually want to go. Yeah. Major possibilities coming in for you. See the little eagle that's flying in the background? To me, that's like a major possibility coming in for you. Okay, we'll leave it there for you, Jeannie. Gobekli Tepe and the first contacts are coming into my reality as well. Ancient sites, yes, and the 5 elements, chemical elements as well. So much more coming in. Yeah, very, very, very cool. Okay, who else have we got that wants another reading, a free reading? So we have Zen. Whoa, that one fired out. It was the 5 of Wands in reverse. So you've definitely let go of something that maybe you were pushing against or pulling against, and then you just let it go. Because you know what happens when you're tug-of-warring with someone and you just completely drop the rope? They fall flat on their face. So just remember that if you're ever in a tug-of-war with somebody and then you just go, what am I doing? And you just go, thanks, bye. Walk away. It not only gives you a peace of mind for yourself, but it also, they have to look at themselves. So there's definitely something happening there. We have the 2 of Pentacles, which is like, I feel like he's almost dancing with these decisions of something, weighing something up. There's 2 ships in the background, and this is like the 2 ships are bringing in some sort of abundance. Maybe there's a couple of ideas that you have to make money or bring money in, or maybe there's something that just, I don't know what it is, but for some reason this person in my head is dancing. So whatever decision you make is enough. They're bringing me to the dragonfly that came into my reality after I had a dream, and it was it hovered over my hand, turned upside down, and then hovered the other way and then flew off. And that was teaching me that, because I was asking my team, which way do I go? And then this all happened as a big dragonfly, and I just had a dream about a dragonfly that night before. And it was teaching me that any way is the right way. Just choose a way, and choose the way that you're more excited about. I would say that. Okay. I don't know. I'm still going to choose another card for you. I just realized. I'm like, why am I still shuffling for her? But I am. Be aware of, there might be something that's coming up for you that you haven't actually looked at yet, and it's been holding you hostage, but you didn't realize it in the past. And then we have the hermit. So this is, like even the hermit was on its head. So it might be something that you thought there's no way you can change it. It's going to have to happen that way because it's outside of myself. And you don't realize yet the power of you going within will take off the blindfold, and then you realize there was many ways of slipping between the swords out of your mind. So there's many ways of moving out of whatever this problem is. I'm going to leave it there. Okay, who else have we got to read for? So that was for... Okay, wait. Always wonder whether Wade wants a reading or not, because he says a lot of things here that are beautiful and helps me, but I've got to go. Oh, he's got to go. Very good. Okay, so he's left. Paula. I don't know who I read for all of a sudden. My brain's gone silly. Paula. I only read for 2 people. Paula. Paula, we have the Emperor card that's come up for you. Stand your ground is the message that I'm getting for that. When you know thyself, when you back your own choices and you stand your ground with your own choices and you decide, then other people will as well. Sometimes it's when we waver in our heads that people actually feel their energy. They don't know that they feel it, but we're more intuitive, we're more connected than what we give ourselves credit for, humans. And if someone gets a bad feeling, then they will push back. So stand your ground, know who you are, know thyself as you move forward. And then you have the Knight of Cups in reverse. So see, it feels like something's stopping you from moving forward. There's a break there. So they're asking you to reevaluate yourself and ask yourself, have I really been backing what I've been saying 100%? Because the Nine of Pentacles wants to come through to your wish, wants to be granted, something that you're really looking forward to or want to have happen or ground in your reality. It's not coming, so you're like, they're asking you to reevaluate and become more Emperor-like to move forward so that you can be granted this wish. Okay. Who else have we got? A Roadrunner. Isn't it funny? Roadrunners are those funny birds that are on that Coyote and Roadrunner. It's the only way that I don't think I've ever seen a real Roadrunner, but Americans would have, that's for sure. They're meant to be really fast birds. Interesting. Who else have we got that I want to read for? Paula, Annie. Did I read for Annie? Oh my gosh, I've forgotten who I've read for already. Sky, I know I haven't read for you, so I'll read for you. Now, I don't know who I read for. Did I read for Annie or did I read for Zen Debbie? So sorry. Sky. I get so entangled in these messages that my logical brain has a brain fart. Sky, you have the card of the Five of Pentacles, which is feeling a little bit outside and wanting something to happen, something more. And it's, you're like, how do I get to that? But there's still a little bit of a victim mindset here. That's not helping because somebody wants to offer you something. You've got the Page of Pentacles as well. So we have the Five of Pentacles, which is like reevaluating too. Because this is like a store movement forward from the Four of Pentacles, which is I'm holding everything close because I've got to protect all my wealth. And then we move into, now I realize that I've actually been a victim to myself. And then we go into the Six of Pentacles, which is, wow, the reward has come because I've now faced the fact that I'm not going to be a victim to my scenario anymore. That's if you go on a progression with the Five of Pentacles. So it's not, it's actually a card of movement towards understanding what parts of yourself are you still victim in your mind to. You're still feeling a little bit of victimization because somebody wants to come in and offer you something for something to move forward a bit more, but it's a kind of I think you're maybe going to be a little bit cautious of this offer, wondering whether it is the thing to take. Not sure, because it is a page, and a page is, you know, it's not a king or a queen or an empress. So I'm feeling there's still a little bit of just be, once you stop with this victim mindset, you'll be able to understand whether this offer is well and truly worth it or not too. Okay, I'll leave it there. Ava. Thank you, Zen, Debbie, for that. Very appreciative of that. $5 donation. Okay, Zen, love your energies, though. Everyone's energies is so great. Helps me heaps. Okay, everything wants to turn over in the pack, so I'll start again. Ava. Ava, 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 Ava. Ava, Ava. So we have the Three of Wands, movement forward, adventure. I also got this weird message. Could be for you or for somebody else. Are you worried about the price of something? The price of something? But the Three of Wands is action card 2 being the wands, but I don't know. I'm feeling like there's something in the distance because of the birds that are standing out in this card for me. I don't know if you can see them there. And 2 ships, but it's like a feeling. Just let me click in a little bit more. Ava. I keep getting this feeling of a worry of something, of worrying of something. Worrying of something. Sometimes it's the energy that you pull into something that makes it the best. And rather than allowing somebody else to tell you what to choose or where to go, you deciding within yourself and knowing full well that you're backing yourself is, yeah, there's a lot of feeling here with these readings of, are we backing ourselves? Are we backing ourselves as we're moving forward? That's the feelings that I'm getting. Because if you could look for the answer outside of yourself till you're blue in the face and then blame everything outside of yourself when it doesn't happen. But we're not stepping into that. We're stepping into this new era where we are now learning to back ourselves. And then when we back ourselves, we're the ones that create the energy flow that makes it go. That's the message I'm getting for you. Yeah, look, Chariot in reverse. This is exactly what I'm feeling, because the Chariot is a balanced person that is now flowing forward, moving forward really fast and knows where they're going. But in reverse, it's somebody who's not. They are not feeling like they are. There's something about an unbalanced, still looking outside themselves for comfort or confirmation. And we can't keep doing that. It really does come from our decisiveness within ourselves as we move forward. Okay, anyways, so thank you, John. Okay, I do John a reading. Did I do Zen Debbie a reading? I must have. You didn't read for Annie. Thank you, Sky. Okay, so I'll do one for John from New Zealand. My home country that I was born in. I was born in Christchurch in the South Island of New Zealand. And we moved to a little town called Kaipoi. It's a beautiful place to have been brought up. Okay, John. At the time, I didn't think so, but now looking back, I think it was amazing. The time, it was really difficult. John, we have the Page's swords. I feel like something, like, oh, I do feel like with this Page's swords, there's something you're cutting through your mind to try to find clarity. A little bit of, just be aware of your own mind games as you're moving forward. We sometimes, because we've been programmed so much, we don't even realize that is a program that's been pulled over our eyes forever, since maybe you were 3, 4, you know. And so you've just accepted as this is the normal human behavior. This is the normalcy and a normal way of thinking towards oneself. Be aware of the thoughts that you're having. If you're having anything negative thoughts about yourself or moving forward, I'm sorry, there's something wrong. It's not how it's supposed to be. And that's what we have to start to address. I'll pull one more card for you, John. We also have the Ace of Cups. So you are moving towards something, you know, more heart-based. This is like you slicing through the mind and finding those little crevices. You know, like when you have a bad dreams are usually, unless it's something that's in that, usually there's something in your head that you are moving. Okay, let's put it this way. If you have a dream of a house and one room in that house is a negative room, that negative room in that house that you have a dream of is also something that's in your mind that you haven't found the power of yet, and so you're too scared to face it. There's something about you being scared, or you're working through your mind or figuring out something within your mind. And when you do, you're going to open up more of your heart space, because you're going to go, oh my God, now that I don't have that bullshit in my head anymore, my heart is now flowing. And so now I am more open, even to better relationships and all of that sort of thing. So this is actually helping you become more in tune with better relationships moving forward. Thanks, Sky. Thanks, Ava. Okay, all is one. Oh, Annie. I'll do Annie first and then. Annie, you got the 6 of Wands. It's on its side, but how cool. Any other cards for Annie? Oh my God. And the next card flew into my handle of my bag. Okay, so we have the 6 of Wands. It's like victory, but it's on its head. But I am feeling still victories coming. No, it was actually on its side, sorry. That flew in on its side. So I feel like there's victory coming for you. I don't think you can see it yet. I think this is an unknown victory, something that you don't see yet. It's like you're living in the moment and you don't see it. But you might just, before you get this victory coming in, you might just be facing off with there might be some anxious moment that you have as you awaken. You're like, maybe I thought I cleared all that stuff. But it's actually also bringing in, funnily enough, this owl of wisdom. So it's like the anxiousness activates you to clear something that ends up bringing in the victory that you wanted. So yeah, if you are waking up in the middle of the night and you feel anxious, just go, okay, ask your guides, what do I need to do with this? For some reason, I'm not saying to you to feel into it. I reckon you need to ask your guides, what do I need to do with this? Why is this happening, and what do I need to do with it? And see what comes up, because I think that there's more channel messages or something coming through for you to find that victory that you've been seeking. Okay. And all is well. All is one. All is one. We have the Fool. So we're learning. We have the Fool, and it's on the side, but I really feel like you're learning to recognize the choices that you make. Are you taking those choices and backing them 100% before you actually jump off the proverbial cliff into the unknown, because you're the one that's creating your own path, rather than waiting to be pushed, or they're also bringing up, there's almost like a changing of guards with you. Like, see these horoscopes here? For some reason, I feel like there's a new guide coming in for you. A new guide. Because they're showing me that dog as well is loyal. It's like your guides are shifting. There's some shift that's happening. It's like you've evolved, and so you're ready to take a leap into something new. But you know that when you leap into an unknown place, and you still got to back yourself from that energy point, just backing yourself means that you're going to land in a nice, juicy, beautiful pink cloud rather than a tumbleweed smashing you around and all that sort of stuff. I just get one more card for you. And then it popped out, 9 of Cups. Yeah, this is wishes, wanting certain wishes to come true and having your cups filled. Oh my God, my heart is overflowing now. But it was in reverse, because I think that you're still learning to, they really want you to take a leap of faith from your own value, from your own supportive system, from who you know you are, not from waiting for something outside of yourself to show up, or it's just, I know I am going to be safe. I know I'm going to be carried. I know I've got guides around me that are going to help me. I know this is going to take a leap in faith into the right place. And then the 9 of Cups will turn back around, and that's where the wishes come true, kind of thing for you. Okay, I'm going to leave it here, guys. Thank you so much. I'm glad we had a really good connection. There was no problems with that. Yay. Yeah. So hopefully I'll see you next week. Yes, I will. And yeah, I've got another little video coming out just on my trip that's coming up by the end of this month. I will be going to Glasshouse Mountains for a couple of nights and tuning in there and doing an on-location channeling in the actual Glasshouse Mountains. A very incredible spot. It's in the part of the dream time of the original Australians, and I also feel like there's something there. I just feel like there's something there. I've been called there, so it's the same as when I went to Uluru. So I'll do some on-location channeling there, and we'll see what comes through. From the mountains and the portals and that sort of thing that are around there. It'll be very interesting. Hey, thanks for that, Annie. Love and gratitude. Much appreciate you. And appreciate you too, John. That's so cool. I love all the love. Love the loving. Okay, guys, until next time. Bye.